Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. I keep looking at the calendar this morning, and I just am in disbelief that it's Thursday. I don't know how that even happened. I guess time goes quickly when you're having fun. Although I have to say, it hasn't really been that much fun for the past, really, like 3 months. It's been really boring. Like, to me, the market's been boring. Not that much to do. I just remain long and, whatever, like, for better or for worse. And that's worked. Great. But now it's time to get serious, right? Because we're looking at the calendar. Again, today's the 28th of August. So that means tomorrow is the 29th. But more importantly, what it means is that the month of August will be over from a trading perspective by tomorrow, right? When we come back here on Monday, well, Monday is Labor Day. So obviously we're not going to be here on Monday for trading. But Tuesday, we will be back. And it'll be September. So, and also the great news, the even better news than that for me personally, is that finally, as of this Friday, or at the end of this Friday, I'm going to be out of this damn office. This is, I don't know if, how many of you guys are aware of this, but we had to move into a temporary office, like one of the Regis. Regis is the company. Nothing against the company, but you're in like this office building, and it's not have a nice view. I keep saying that, but it's tight and small and whatever. So anyway, we're hopefully going back. We're going out of this office. Let's put it this way. Starting moving on over the weekend, Monday and Tuesday, maybe doing some moving. I'm not quite sure when we're actually be able to go into our main office again. It's possible it's not until the second half of September, but we'll definitely be leaving this, which is already a big thing. So now that I've told you stuff that you probably really don't give a shit about, let me welcome everybody. Good morning. It's Serge here from thesteadytrader.com. This is our morning call. And we are going to get started here right now. If you're here for the first time, thanks for being here. Please make sure you give us a thumbs up, like, and please subscribe to the channel. We do a lot of effort into our YouTube channel, like a crazy amount of effort to make sure everyone is educated and updated on the markets and to make you a better trader and investor. So that would be awesome if you could do that. Us that favor, subscribe to the channel and like, and of course it benefits you, right? Because you get updated in real time when we do all our new information, all our new stuff comes out, including podcasts and these live shows and all sorts of stuff that we do to make, hopefully help you become a better trader investor. So what are we going to talk about today? First of all, it's Ticker Thursday. So I'll be happy to go through a couple of tickers if you guys have any. I don't even really want to talk about NVIDIA. There's nothing to say. The stock is flat now after being down, so there's nothing to do. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, let's just see what happens today, and then maybe there's something to do. I have nothing to say about NVIDIA right now. We'll quickly look at the chart just to kind of tick it off, just because I know everyone only cares about that. But then we'll talk about something way more important that's beating the shit out of stocks like that, and that's uranium. Then we're going to look at bond yields, and we'll look at energy stocks here today. We have a lot more to say about energy stocks going forward, particularly if you are an ETF Silo Pro or Heat Seeker member. How our theme is there. And so we'll touch a little bit on that here. And of course, the trade alerts and all the deep insight goes out to our clients. So before we look at the sector stuff, because I want to highlight energy here and some trades that we're seeing set up, let's quickly talk about NVIDIA, just to tick it off the box, because I know that's mostly what everyone cares about. It's very sad, by the way, that that's where we're at, but it is what it is. Here's NVIDIA. The stock has done zero zilch, nothing for basically the month of August. And we will see where we are going to be by end of the day. This is what it looks like overnight. The stock is basically rebounding after being down a couple percent. I mean, it's laughable, right? The stock didn't really do anything. So we'll just have to see. We'll have to see if it continues to go sideways, if it decides to break higher. Maybe it goes towards 200. 200 is a round number, it's possible, or if it starts to get sold. Unless we get a meaningful institutional investor just to hit the sell button, I would have to venture to guess that the stock is going to continue gravitating towards 200. I have no position. I really don't care about that stock right now. I think there's way better opportunities because it takes one hiccup one hiccup and this stock will drop 50% because of the overcrowding in the position. To me, it's a dangerous stock because of the positioning. Not because I don't like the fundamentals necessarily, although, the growth rates slowed a lot over the past 12 months, I think like 20%. I don't think that's the issue. The issue to me is the crowding. That's why I don't do stuff like this. I own an insurance somewhere in like a long-term thing, but I have no interest in a stock like this when there's way better opportunities from a reward to risk perspective that doesn't have the crowding risk like NVIDIA does. So that's my personal view, and now I'm sure everyone that likes NVIDIA is going to send me a 2-page hate mail. Please don't do that. It's just not needed, right? I just told you my positioning. So anyway, let's talk about. Let's see here. Let's look at the sector stuff first, okay? So this is the sector stuff I wanted to quickly go through. So if you look at the year-to-date performance of sectors, industrials are leading, communication stocks are leading, it's basically meta, utilities, and then you have tech, right? The fact that this should be a very alarming statistic to really everyone, that utilities are on par and actually marginally outperforming tech stocks. And it's the same chart I keep showing people, everyone, right? And I'm going to go back to that one, but let me quickly show you what's happening over the past 5 days. Over the past 5 days, since we've gotten more and more and more monetary debasing readings, and the dollar under pressure once again this morning, by the way. Silver acting very well this morning because of that. Watch the energy sector. I'm going to go a little bit into it here right now, give you guys a couple of ideas, but the energy sector is up 4% year to date. Excuse me, not year to date, the past 5 days, right? Now, it's, again, still, 1 month, and over the past 1 month, it's up 2.43%. It's doing way better than most things over the past 1 month. But again, a lot of that has come over the past few days. Year to date, it's still not really doing anything. A lot of that has to do because the constellation of the energy sector ETF, the XLE, it's largely just basically, I think like ExxonMobil and Chevron are like 30% of it or something like that. So those two stocks really don't represent the energy sector well. So there's other ways of playing that. Again, we reveal that to our clients and more specifically in detail. Let's go through and look at a few stocks here, though. But before I go into that and we look at Ticker Thursdays as well, let me just remind you that, again, the fact that utilities are up and beating tech marginally year to date, there's a reason for that. And that reason is the one I keep harping on every single morning on this morning call, is that we see monetary debasing. People are afraid of stagflation, right? Higher rates on the long end, lower on the short end, which is why I remain long 2-year Treasury note futures. I bought some silver again this morning, by the way, personally. More from a trading perspective, I own it for long term. And that's why you see stuff like MAX 7 underperforming a lot of stuff. The gold miners, the GDX, right? This all goes in line with this. The gold miner ETF, the GDX, is up 80% year to date. Gold is up 30%. Uranium's up 48%. So the fact that utilities are doing well plays into this as well, right? Utilities are energy related, for example, and that whole theme is very similar. So again, if you're a heat seeker member or ETF silo to some extent, you know that's our big theme. Our inflation portfolio is holding up very, very well. And so we're very happy with how that's moving. Let's move on. Okay, so we talked about energy. I want to bring a couple things to your attention on the energy front so you can kind of see. So what we are seeing is, for example, so for those of you guys using our momentum indicator, the trender, which I really, really, really hope all of you guys are using because it's going to make a huge difference in the way you approach the market. You can see, and actually I need to adjust this a little bit. Here we go. You can see that we've received a fresh momentum buy signal a few days ago in something like Phillips 66. PSX is the ticker symbol. And that is working higher nicely. So that's just one, and I'm going to show you the absolute chart. Now, if we look at some of these energy stocks, like PSX, and I'm not mentioning this here for the first time. I've been talking to clients about this now for the past few days. But these are stocks that are making moves. Even if you just want to use an oversimplification and doodle some lines and that's a good start, right? You will see that there's some significant moves being made by stocks like PSX. Again, to us, it's way more important that we have a very specific risk management process as well in place with a stock like this, but with swing trades, with momentum trades. But just to show you the absolute charts, it's really an interesting and potentially something that turns into really, really bullish trades. Valero Energy is another one we talked about here, I believe, the other day as well. Looks very similar to PSX. No great surprise, right? Similar kind of line of business, or at least in the same sector. So these are the kind of things where I think there could be huge moves. And again, no one owns energy stocks. Like I keep saying this, like when I started in this business and when I started working on the street, there's a lot of energy analysts. I don't know any energy analysts anymore. I mean, like they exist, but there's so few of them left. So the entire portfolio construction for most people is completely lopsided. That's why a lot of people are going to blow up their accounts over the next 5 to 10 years. And then we're hoping to be able to help you not to do that. The OIH ETF, for example, the OIH ETF is one that, this is the oil services ETF. So it's not a perfect correlation, but it's one that, again, you can see it's perking up. And so we're looking for potentially new, I don't know if it's new market leadership. I think that's too much of a thing, but just stuff where there's momentum coming into the market. And remember, the sequence is first we get momentum before the trends change. So, for example, I'm going to show you this quickly here with our momentum indicator. So, for example, with Valero Energy, this is now the trender indicator for all of you guys that are using it, and you know how awesome it is. This is Valero, and you can see we just yesterday actually intraday reached the free profit target, so now it's time to take half the position off, just like it was there, okay? So now what we have is an opportunity to see if this turns into an actual trend. Because on the Market Rover, which is our trend following software, we do not yet have bullish trends. Like, for example, Chevron, it's no longer a bearish trend, but it's definitely not bullish. It's neutral trend. So a lot of this is slowly but surely happening underneath the surface. So, for example, if you look at Valero Energy, you can see it's still actually not in a bullish trend. It has bullish momentum, right? That's this. So you can see factually, we received the buy signal there. That turned into a 17-18% winner. Then this was a flat-ish trade probably in terms of P&L. In the latest one here, it's up a few percent already, reaching your free profit target. But the momentum comes first. So I want to first do trades before it turns into potentially a trend from a longer term perspective. But Valero Energy is nowhere near bullish trend yet. All it is so far is bullish momentum. And that's something we want to look at. So we're now 15 minutes in. If you guys want to give me some ticker symbols, I'll be more than happy to go through a couple of them. I do want to quickly point out silver. As I mentioned before, while I own silver long-term personally, I finally bought some silver futures again this morning personally for more from a trading perspective. I'm going to quickly show you what silver's doing this morning. So silver this morning is now about not quite a percent, 80 basis points. But I think, again, the real bullish theory on silver, and I'm a little bit honestly hesitant to even show the long-term chart because it is a bit of a stretch to come up with to say that this is a cup and handle or whatever. I know a lot of people are doing it, but it is something that I'm watching, and it could turn out wonderfully, and silver doubles. It could be something that never really transpires. It's not bearish right now, I guess, is my only thing that I would point out at the time being. So for the time being, okay. All right, so let's see here. Stephen, let's look at APLD. Well, I don't know what the time frame is you're looking at, Stephen, but APLD, like from a momentum perspective, is still in a bullish momentum position. I don't know if they had earnings or anything. I haven't looked at that today. But just from pure momentum perspective, I mean, this is just still working. The stock looks to be up a little bit this morning, so that's nice. But it's got bullish momentum, and you can see that bullish momentum signal happen there, and we haven't had a sell signal yet. So that's probably the easiest thing to point out. Nubia, I don't know if you said good morning or if that's GM that you're pointing out. So let's just assume you're looking at GM. So let's look at this first on a weekly chart. This is General Motors. You could make a lot of bullish arguments for this chart. What's way important for me, Nubia, is where is it from a momentum perspective. So we're going to pull this up on our trender, right? Again, that's our momentum indicator. And here we are. So this is the trender. So again, we have bullish momentum since all the way since June. And that bullish momentum continues. We had a bit of a shakeout there through earnings probably, but the stock remains bullish momentum. That's the stock there. Long term, I think it is finally. Let me see if GM is in a bullish trend, right? Again, trend is the long term stuff, right? Momentum is, so it's not even in a bullish trend yet, right? So it's not yet ripe for a trend, but there is bullish momentum that's ripe for a trade. And then Nubia wants to look at Wayfair, ticker W. Oh, sorry, I forgot this thing here. Need to adjust. W is Wayfair here, and again, I don't know what your time frame is, but from a momentum perspective, who is this? Nubia. Oh, that was a good morning. Okay, so Wayfair W received a buy signal back in April. So far, the stock is up about 141%, unchanged, remains bullish momentum. If that changes, we will be told immediately that in real time by our momentum indicator. So. Rashid is asking, does the XLE include only oil companies? Well, it's a pretty simple question to figure out. All you have to do, Ashit, is type in XLE ETF holdings into Google, and it'll tell you exactly what the holdings are. So if you go into XLE, I have a tool here. Here I can show you what the holdings are, and you can see ExxonMobil, Chevron, Conoco, EOG Research, Schlumberger, Phillips 66, Valero. Not all those stocks are just oiled. It's a bit more diverse. Uranium, I'm not sure how much uranium stuff is in this one specifically. That's a good question. For uranium, I have really no interest in buying XLE. For uranium, we've been pounding the table, and hopefully you guys have listened. We've been pounding the table on the URA ETF for all year, quite frankly. Uranium, if you remember, again, every single morning we talk about this here, so hopefully this has resonated. I know everyone's still blinded by NVIDIA every day, but uranium is up 48%. Now, look, at some point, it's going to have a retracement. There's no doubt about it. But the story, I think the tailwinds are still very bullish for uranium. From a momentum perspective, just quickly so you guys can see, uranium, I think it's going back into bullish momentum. Let me quickly see. From what I saw the other day, it took a pause. Yeah, so we had bullish momentum since April. Then it got stopped out for a gain of like 57%. Then we had now a scratch trade, and now we have new bullish momentum by our trender momentum indicator in uranium. For those of you guys that care about learning a process of trading and investing, we are doing a session today on how to trade momentum properly with defined profit targets exactly like this and stop losses. So we get to a free trade as quickly as possible. Make sure you sign up for that later on today. And it's pretty soon. It's like in an hour and 40 minutes, something like that. So we'll see you guys there. Tomorrow is Friday. No Set the Market. We're doing Set the Markets Monday through Thursday. We'll see you guys back here in Set the Market next week, Tuesday, after Labor Day. Hope it was helpful, folks. Have a great day, and hopefully we'll see as many as possible of you in the training on Momentum.